welcome to this episode of Probation Matters, a podcast by the Probation Board for Northern Ireland, which tells the stories of how probation works within the justice system to change people's lives and help create safer communities. I'm Lisa Maginnis, and it's a pleasure to be joined by Claire Taylor, the Probation Board's manager of the Practice, Performance and Research Unit. This episode will be focusing on the Practice, Performance and Research Unit, or PPRU. We will ask what it is, why it is important to probation, how it maintains and improves standards, and how it encourages innovation within probation work. If you could introduce yourself, Claire, and tell me who the other members of the PPRU team are.
My name's Claire Taylor. I'm currently managing the Practice, Performance and Research Unit while Deirdre Grant is on secondment. So I've been working in the Practice, Performance and Research Unit for just over a year now, and I work alongside two probation officers, Gloria McKenna and Annie McAnallen.
I'll just start off asking you to explain why the PPRU was created.
The PPRU was created following the Criminal Justice Inspectorate, and its purpose was really to support staff and team to develop their practice. Primarily, the focus was on auditing probation work, and PPRU were keen to highlight areas of good practice and also look at potential service improvement and inform PBNI's training needs. They were also required to undertake research and just keep themselves appraised of contemporary thinking in relation to PBNI practice.
So how does PPRU enhance the work of probation?
Well, through auditing key aspects of the social work process within probation practice, the PPRU then provide examples of good practice, which is always really encouraging to see. We look at themes and areas for development in practice. When we complete audits, we provide a comprehensive report outlining the summary of findings for the senior leadership team to consider ways in which they could support staff to develop their practice, and then we provide individual feedback for every staff member whose work has been audited. We try very much to do that in a very strengths-based way for staff, so we identify key aspects of positive practice and issues for consideration to potentially develop their practice as they work within PBNI. The PPRU's role has developed, and we now facilitate practice workshops. Suppose reflective practice is at the core of social work, and these really provide spaces for staff and the opportunity for them to reflect on their own practice. We have delivered practice workshops in relation to professional curiosity, assessment, and more recently, very specifically around aspects of case planning. PPRU have recently developed a workshop focused on grooming and manipulation of professionals, and that was a key recommendation from a domestic homicide review. And so it's very important that when tragedies happen, that agencies are open and receptive to potential learning in order to promote safe practice in the future. We developed that workshop and piloted it within PBNI, and we've had some very positive feedback from staff in relation to that, and it's going to be then rolled out within our own service and also with the health and social care and our colleagues in the justice sector as well. Gloria and Annie also present at various social work and justice conferences, really promoting the work of the unit in terms of professional development, key aspects like professional curiosity and the promotion of safe practice, which has really been the key message of the PPRU. We've been very fortunate in that Gloria developed a model called the 4 safety lenses, which is really illustrates that it's important to have a very holistic approach around safe practice, and that's really to help probation officers keep themselves safe, service users safe, the public and the organisation safe. And this model has really been acknowledged and recognised by other professionals and has afforded the opportunity to represent PBNI in external events, really fostering, I suppose, those links with key players in the justice sector. And he also completed some research in relation to trauma-informed approaches. And I think this really set the scene for PBNI in terms of them progressing this work within the organisation.
So what are the challenges and rewards for PPRU?
I suppose I wasn't involved with the PPRU at its very commencement when it was a very new venture within PBNI, but from talking to Gloria and Annie way back at the commencement of the unit, the challenge was really establishing the unit's position and their purpose within the organisation and being clear about what our key focus and the messaging for staff around that. And I do remember when I was in a different team, Gloria and Annie and Deirdre all visiting the team just to really, I suppose, explain their purpose, and there was always that clear focus on safe practice. I suppose dispelling the myth that a unit like PPRU would be looking for perfection, but just really kind of promoting practice development and that culture of learning within PBNI. So really positive that 5 years later, Gloria and Annie, with the support of Deirdre, have been able to embed themselves within the organisation. A big challenge with the PPRU was really building confidence and trust with staff in order to help them see the benefits that the PPRU could bring to their work, and really just kind of emphasising that commitment to safe practice and promoting I suppose a positive view about learning and practice development. There are challenges around providing open and honest feedback to staff because we are slightly removed and we don't have the same close working relationships with those staff, and I suppose it's really challenging in a sense because we aren't able to fully reflect the challenges that people are facing on the ground, because we have a very particular lens on practice and practice development when we're undertaking the audits. So that is a challenge, and I suppose we just do try to reflect and understand the impact that may have on people's practice, but we try to balance that by really taking that strengths-based approach to feedback and acknowledging areas of good practice within the cases that we've audited. And I suppose an overwhelming reward really has been the growth and confidence and trust that has been fostered by the team with probation practitioners and the organisation. And I suppose that has been supported by individuals reaching out for support and advice and guidance from Gloria and Annie. So it's really positive to see that we are working in partnership with staff, and we hope that they feel the benefit of that. I suppose really encouraging to see staff's willingness to take the opportunity to reflect in the practice workshops on their practice and be quite open and honest about the challenges they may well face, which is really important in terms of developing and sharing that learning and experience in the room. So I suppose we have been really encouraged by that within PPRU, so it's been really rewarding for us.
What do you think the future of PPRU is?
Well, most recently, the senior leadership team have communicated that they want to develop the role of the PPRU, and that is primarily by ourselves going to work directly with staff in teams within the organisation, really to try and to support staff to develop practice. We're kicking that off in a few weeks in the middle of November in the North Belfast team. We're excited and we're enthusiastic about this and keen to engage with staff to see how we can provide that support in a different way than when we're auditing cases. We hope that the team will see the benefit in doing this work. We're really keen to work in partnership with staff to identify areas that they think they would benefit from support in relation to practice development, and we'll do that through taking on board their ideas in relation to developing small group workshops and just individual support for staff to discuss the more complex cases, and really take that opportunity to critically reflect on the work we're doing, because that really gives staff confidence then, and it also enhances our work with service users, which is really important in order to, I suppose, keep other people safe.
And are there any particular areas of work you think we need to focus on, or that you're going into, say, that first team with a view to focusing on?
I suppose initially what we will be doing is asking the staff primarily what key issues they would find beneficial. We do know that domestic violence is a significant issue in a large proportion of our cases, and I suppose really we would be keen to hear whether staff think they need some support around managing the complexity of those cases. We just really will be directed by the staff in the team, but we will be focusing obviously on the key aspects of social work practice, so assessment, case planning, intervention, and just allowing staff to come together to and share their experience and draw on learning from one another as well.
Thank you very much, Claire, for giving us an insight into the work of the Practice, Performance and Research Unit, or PPRU. Find out more about probation and how it changes people's lives for safer communities by visiting our website at pbni.org.uk or by following us on our social media platforms: X, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube.